How much time do I have on my hands? How much time do you have before you can make a decision? If I said yes or pushed one button, am I just pushing one button? Or is that one button connected to 10 buttons, and those 10 buttons connected to 6 buttons, connected to 4 buttons, and while it's doing one thing, it's hitting all the buttons at the same time, and this light goes on, and that light goes off, and this light goes on, and that light goes off. So by pushing one button, I turn things on and off all at the same time with a push of the button. My cat was sitting up against the wall, and a friend of mine said to me, "That cat shouldn't be like that. That cat is sad." I looked at him, I go, "Are you sad? Are you a sad cat?" Are we here only about numbers? No, we're here about how do we understand the codes of the world. Hi! I love you. I love you, and I really believe you. I really do. But one day, if you don't do this to me, I'm going to be doing that. So marry me and take me away, or just get out of the house. I had enough of you today. In this video, I am going to be going over some logics of why we, I, me. It's me. Why I choose certain codes. Right now I'm working on the a color code for pi, where all I'm going to be doing is turning all of the mathematics of pi into 3 numbers. And each of those numbers is going to get 1 or 2 or a split color of 1, 2, 3. Maybe I should just use 3 colors for certain numbers. If it was the number 3, I would use the colors red, green, and orange. If it was number 6, I would use the color of blue, green or black, and gray, or pink. And if it was number 3, I would use the colors either of black, or yellow, or purple. Now, why these colors? But now let's switch everything over and let's do something a little bit different and see if you can pick up this code. If I get number 1, 4, or 7, I will paint it red, purple, or burgundy. So we're going to have a discrepancy between the burgundy and the purple, a little close. If I pick up number 2, I'm going to paint it blue. Number 5, I'm going to paint orange. And number 8, I am going to paint black. When it comes to number 3, I'm going to paint it. I made a mistake when I came to 1. I'm going to paint it yellow and not red, because otherwise I have 3 reds in that area. Sort of that burgundy sort of shows me a red when it's actually brown, because I think there's a yellow mix inside of it. So I mix a little bit of yellow inside the brown, which is like burgundy, and I end up with the 7 ball. I'm playing pool or I'm at the racetrack. One of the two. You're either at the racetrack or you're playing pool. These are what the colors I see. I can be just literally knocking it off against the roulette wheel, which is the red and the green and the black. And all these 3 games are telling me something different. The roulette wheel is telling me I have 18 reflecting 18. For the racetrack, I say I'm on the top of the saddle or I'm behind the horse. And for the pool table, I say, well, the balls are on the table and this is what it is. What game am I playing? So each one has a category. Each game tells a different story, and each game tells me a different place that I am. Just like Gematria 7, just like numbers which go up to 26 in Pythagorean only go to 9, or Chaldean which only goes to number 8. Well, it goes more than 8 if you're adding or pairing things up. What happens when you're pairing? When you're pairing 2 items, your telephone, you're pairing your cards 2 by 2. Codes of the Quran. Codes of Torah, codes of the Bible, codes of the world and creation. Knowing the truth are the facts and actualities that we live by. They call this toilet paper. Now, what you use it for is to pick that shit up. And that could be any combination of things. In fact, my cat sometimes sits on the garbage can going, that's the place I want to be. Untold stories, the less, the most, and the fermentation. What's going on in your fridge? Learning. So we're going to bring in these three pieces or elements right now. I have 360 degrees divided by 24 equals to 15 seconds times 4. We can say it's the intermission to a hockey game. We can say it's the 15-minute quarters of a football game. We can say it's 15 parts of the 60 parts of a clock. We can also say 1551, which is the cycle of 33 by 47, cycle of the Jesus moon on the cross running through Mars. This will also equate to number 2. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 is 6 and 5. The reverse of 6 and 5 on a cube is 1 and 2, but 6 plus 5 is 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 99 brings it to the 10 world. 9 plus 1, 0. 9 plus 1, 0. 20. Location. 3 plus 1. Sorry, there was 2 here. 2 plus 2 because I totalitized it. No, let's not do this one. 6 and 2 bring about the 77. Minus the 1 from 6 is 5. Minus the 2 is 3. We now have 5 and 3 electric company. Cinco. We divide 36 by the 13 moons, 360, because it's totality of going around, and we have 27.692307, the red sun. In rotation to the beta creation of the 7th gate, 307. We pass. What passes? 6 passes. Yes, all the 6. You ever have 6? You have 6? You have 6? You have 6 today? You have 6, 1, 1, 6? 1 and 6. Funny how we say like foreign. Foreign. If we were talking English and French, you would actually saying 4-1. It's a foreigner. You have 6? 6-1? 6-1? 6-2? So saying it a different way, talking with a different slang, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are actually going to be telling stories. Just like I really want to know if there's honey on the moon. We don't want to warm up those cables, and we don't want the water on the moon to steam. We want it to be dry on the moon. We don't want to see steam. We don't want to see diesel coming out of the skies. We don't want to see that. We don't want to know that the lubrication of the earth is the oil that runs, although sandy, on sand things roll. How did they move those big monuments in Egypt 6,000 years ago? According to TV, it were rocks, and people have tried it, and it works. But the rocks crumble. So you move it till they crumble, and once they're all gone, if you can't lift the element up, you stand it up. That means you can lift it up, so it's impossible. You can put more stones underneath. How many bodies were crushed as the bones and the stones run red? So anyways, we're going to continue to honeymoon. 67, the spirit of the half-life. You now say swa, which means soft. A soft 7. Soft 17. Swa. So now when I say 6, or I see a 6 and a 7 come together equaling to 13, 1 plus 3 equals 4, and it's AM. AM, or how about I am the robotic, the fleshy robotic? I AM. AI, AM. When A is next to M, you don't need I, because you already know because of the letter M, you have to have I, because the letter M will turn this dice cube this way. It just does. I have to explain why. I have to think about it. The I letter to the highest point is created this way. The H letter, see, this would be the H, this would be the I, but you won't see it. I keep the I this way. Whoosh, straight down, the measurement. Each side of the I goes on this side and this side and this side and this side, accumulating the 4 corners and the 1 piece on the cross. So you're held to the cross, the 1 stick and the 2 posts on the cross. That's one way to look at it. Sometimes I like to look at it and say, which one is the dollar sign? Although we create them the same size, they're not actually the same size, because this is what has to happen. We have separation in the S. I'm not showing you the S. I'm just going to show you the M. M. The lower of two mountains. What is M doing? What happens in this design and size? I don't know all the answers. I'm creating the pieces of the puzzle. Once the pieces fit together, we'll question what they mean. They might mean something to somebody else, some other time of the day. So we have the honeymoon. 8 and 15, beta creation of your DNA energy on Earth. 7, 7, 5, moon. 5, 6, and 8. I got to think of, hey, hun, what's going on? 23, 33, 37. Hey, hun. The cube. Just trying to think what 10 is. 10 is the half-life, because all zeros equal 6. All zeros equal 6. So I'm just going to switch this a little bit. Did I answer your question? Hey, hun. ON is your piece of pie, which is split apart, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. What is the missing piece? What is that one that's missing? One is so different than anything else. 1 and 9 and 0, things that don't change. 9 times any number added up together will always equal 9, never changed. 1 times any number will never change, and 0 times any number will become 0. So things that remain in the same coordinate space according to how you use the numbers in the mathematical realm. And what is multiplication? Multiplication says I'm grabbing the 4 corners. And obviously if I do it this way, only this part has ends. This part is meeting at the halfway point. So I have to understand if that reality comes in. That one separation, the number 1, how can I say number 1, what that 1 does, what that 10 and 0 do. That 1 is in the center of 0, and everything else is an explanation of what's going around all around 1. And what's inside none and all is 1. But inside a 1, is it a river that passes? Is it a piping? Is it a hole? Is it just a hole? Or is 1 where 1 goes through? I have 1 hole, and through that hole comes the water, the element. I'm passing the electrical wire. I'm coming through the hole. But then if it's information coming through the hole, then that information is already known, has already been. I'm just waiting on that information. I know what I sent out, and I know what I'm expecting to get back. And what I get back, what I'm expecting, I will get, and what it is, and what it tells me to do, and what I think, and if it's the right answer to what I was thinking, then that's exactly, I'll be happy about that. So now we have, how about this one? Anybody sink the cat? Yeah, sank the cat. If you sank the cat, you would end up with 5, and I'm looking for where it is. It should be, you'd end up with 5 and 4. Because in French, whoop, that's 5, there's 4, there it is, 5, 4. So if I'm just using the fold, I can use the fold of 5, 4. I can use the fold of 5, 6. I can use the fold of 2, 6. But I cannot use the fold at the same time of 2, 6 and 1, 3 unless these 3 pieces come together. I remove these 3 pieces and I fit together these 3 pieces. Whoosh, the dice comes apart. So I split the dice either this way. Either I split the dice this way, I cut it, or, just give me a second, or I split the dice through this corner here, and I get half of the 4. And by cutting it, I'm just trying to think how I cut this dice here. I can cut it right through and get half the 6. So which way am I cutting this dice? I'd like to cut it just to show you exactly what comes out. Maybe actually I could cut it. Just give me a second. So let's do it this way. We have 4, 5, and 6, and we plugged into, look at that. We plugged that piece, right? We connected the Y, see the Y? And then we connected it to this piece, and just let me show you. Just give me a second. We connected Y and Y. So what is the value of this Y? The value of this Y is 654, which is 15. 5 and, well, actually, that's the 1. 5 and 1 is 6. 5 and 1 is 6 and 4. 5 and 6 and 4. So that's a total of 10. So the other side of the dice had to be That's 10, right? 5, 9, 10. So what would be missing? We will have 6 be missing, and 3 be missing is 9, and 2, 11. So whatever you do on this dice, it has to total 21. If I have 4, 5, 6, that's 15. I'll be missing 1, 2, 3. That's 6. So there's a whole combination. Did I say too much? Is there something I missed? Yes, I want to finish with this. 25, 1/4 value. I should do it on all the numbers because all the numbers will tell a story, and all the stories, the numerics will fit together. 30 is the creation a day, the 12 hours of the day, or the number 12. The 13 is for the bar mitzvah, the bat mitzvah, and the bar mitzvah. There's a big difference between 24 and 25. It's these lines and these squares. Look at that. Time for the dead. 1/4 earth life and birth creation of IR. Your DNA, the 1440 minutes of the day. So all these, if I take away the 25 from the 24, I end up with the 6. If I take away the 13 from the 12, I end up with 2.30, or 2.31, your creation through the sun. That is your difference between your 12 and your 13. Here it's 3. We have all 3s. Here we have 9, 4, 9. Here we have 4 with your 9. Here we have 9, 6, 6. In rotation, things that continuous in rotation. Here we have 9, 7, 9. This is your gateway and your birth, your nuality, your continuation, your rotation. Raphael 7286, the constellation of Pegasus. Maybe that's why we live in the clubhouse. Thank you for watching this video.